Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Psychedelic Art Exchange's YouTube home. We're coming to you in the midst of our June Collectors Showcase auction, which is open now until Sunday, June 8th at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. So many amazing rarities in this one that we just can't wait to show you. So let's jump right in.
Right. As Katie's saying, this sale is packed with so much different and interesting stuff. And yeah, I mean, the first item we're leading off with is one of the rare, nicer looking Grateful Dead items. It's from 69 from the Pacific Northwest. It's a poster for two stops in Oregon in May. And, it's just a lovely piece. It has the photograph from Thomas Weir that was on the back of Oxymoxoa, which was taken in Olompali when the Dead had their, crazy trip there, which was it's something those, who are interested look into that period. It was a real fun time for the band. And this is the classic image from Oxymoxoa, and it preceded the release of the album by about a month. Now, one of the popular rumors that has always circulated about this photograph that Courtney Love was the baby in this photo. And the rumor went around for quite some time, but it was not her. It was Stacy Kreutzmann. And
All right.
so
Well, that makes more sense.
I mean, it was possible, it fit into her timeline with Hank Harrison, but it's been disproven, or at least that's the research we're going with here. But anyhow,
I love that.
yeah.
I mean, and it's cool. I mean, we've never sold this poster actually. We've sold the handbill before, but this is a first timer.
Yeah, and this is a majorly in demand poster. It's 69 Dead, which is one of the high points of the band. And the Pacific Northwest was an extension of the San Francisco hippie scene. So this was welcome ground for them. This is where the pranksters hung out in Eugene, and this is a fine poster. Anyhow,
Yeah, I'm a
moving
fan.
right along, we have FD3 signed by Wes Wilson.
Yeah. Whoa.
This is a rare poster. In fact, it was one of the most hunted posters before the web and the internet brought collectors together, and there was more value. I mean, it's still an incredibly wonderful piece. The only thing I think that has held this piece back is that it's black and white. It's an image of Harry Houdini, and it was for Paul Butterfield Blues Band, and they were a big deal in '66. They were the band that both Bill Graham and Chet Holmes wanted to get in. It was a hot band, and it's just in really good shape. It's a rare poster in good shape. It's not graded, so it's yours to do what you want with. Either send it off,
not third party graded.
not third party graded. Thank you. It's not encapsulated. It is our in-house subjective grading.
Yes.
But
it's signed.
It's signed by Wes. This is it used to be a set breaker. It comes up more commonly now, but because it's not Grateful Dead. So, but
sure. Yeah. But you know what we always say about the first 10 of any series?
Especially with the Family Dog, the first 5 are next to impossible and have been chased and really, really hard to find in top shape. It's a lot of this hobby has, at least with the value, has gravitated towards the bigger acts.
Sure.
Pink Floyd, Rolling Stones, Jimi Hendrix, the Grateful Dead. That's where all the money goes. And Paul Butterfield, as great and important he was, didn't keep the star status.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that's just my story. Moving along, another wonderful black and white piece. This is an essential piece for any collection. The Human Bee in 1967. It was the big gathering, and many historians claim it was sort of the beginning of the end of the hate, because it sort of reached critical mass. But this is Rick Griffin, the cowboy image. This is one of the best illustrations in the whole canon, in my opinion. A must-have, again, for any collector.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
it's all the bands, it's all the people, it's Leary. It was the pivotal event.
Yeah, and Rick Griffin.
And Rick Griffin, of course. And it's in really top shape. This one is in
This is
fine
really
condition.
awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's got some toning, but other than that, the paper's really crisp. This little piece is probably the scarcest, most interesting, and important piece in the sale. This is Charlie Parker Bird. I mean, it came later in his life. It was in '54, and he died in '55. But
Mhm.
he was one of those people that changed the course of American popular music. Inventor of bebop. He became one of the admired figures of the whole beat scene. And we don't get many Charlie Parker pieces in here, so if
Yeah.
this is something that speaks to you, I wouldn't expect this to come up again. And it's in near perfect condition. It's
Oh.
a it's
Can
a
you
set.
hold it up a little bit so we're
Yeah,
not distracted by that beautiful FD26 in the background?
no,
Yeah.
this is
Nice.
big things in small packages. So
Yeah.
if you're all into this kind of thing, jazz stuff doesn't come up in our sale, although it's coming up more often, and I love it. It is probably scarcer than any of this rock and roll stuff. But
Definitely. Yeah.
so after this, we have now the graded pieces that are in the sale, because this collector's showcase is a hybrid sale that throws in the better encapsulated pieces and the raw pieces. And here we have a red pass from the FD26 second printing. The FD26 second printing sells for good money now.
We've
It's
sold less of those than we've sold the OP ones, so
yes, there's something to that. Maybe many of them went up and just got destroyed along the way, but this is something from the printer's floor. This was not something that was distributed or put up or taken to the or sold in this is just a printer's press. Printer's proof is what they'd call today.
yeah.
And it's
Well,
a
it looks
6.0. It's a
beautiful.
rare piece, and it's an
Yeah.
RP too. But if if you're looking for this piece, this will fill the hole until you get the first print. And what is probably is even scarcer than the FD26 is the FD12, and this was the second Family Dog poster that had the Grateful Dead on it. The first one was FD10, but this is and another black and white poster, which is maybe has held it back a little. I don't know, but it's the first time that the skull was used in conjunction with the Grateful Dead. And it was Wes Wilson. This is the OP1, which is a thicker paper version. There is an OP2, which is original variant 2, that is on thinner paper, that is a little rarer than this. But this was always a top 10 poster for Deadheads and Family Dog collectors, and still is.
Yeah, and I mean, we've only sold like a real small amount of OP ones in the past. I think maybe like one or two.
It's a really it's I keep saying must have. They're all must haves, but this is again scarcer than the FD26, at least by the population reports that we see nowadays. And
Yeah.
this is a really fine copy. It's got some tape pulls and stuff on the back, but it's a pretty fine copy.
Looks
And
good from
yeah,
here.
so this rounds out this incredible sale. There's many more items. We can only dip our toe into so much here. Otherwise, we'd be talking about the whole sale. But
Yeah, we could sit here for hours and show you everything. But the good news is it's a slightly larger selection this month. We've got 60 lots instead of 50 because there was just too much good stuff that we had to put in there. So check it out. The link is in the description. Go on a little treasure hunt through this amazing auction. And again, that closes on Sunday, June 8th at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you, as always, for being here with us. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell us what you want us to talk about in the future, what you think of what we're saying. If we got anything wrong, we want to know.
Yeah,
So
we're not adverse to criticism, so I don't want to open the door too much for that. But any
a
helpful
little bit.
criticism, yeah, helpful criticism.
Thank you so much. We'll be back here soon.